Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Chuck Bartok back again with another presentation. Quick video on a very important subject, goals. Is it essential to have goals in life? Well, not really. You can live without them. But you know, things won't happen very fast if you don't have them, that's for sure. The thing most of us don't like about setting a goal is that it immediately puts us on the spot. Yes, you become accountable to yourself. And we can either succeed or fail. And, you know, we don't like failing much. At least that's the way we've been conditioned. Actually, I have another whole article on failing and how it helps your brain development. We don't like failing so much, so the logic goes, if we don't make a goal, we can't fail. Except that we also don't achieve much either, and life kind of slows down. Goal setting in business has been a widely studied area for the last 30 or 40 years, and research has shown that goals are achieved more frequently when they have some sort of system for organizing the goals that stops them from becoming too vague, such as lose weight, which is a vague goal because it doesn't say how much weight, by when or where. So the great business gurus have come up with the idea, and many of you have already seen this, the acronym SMART goals. What is a SMART goal? Well, it's a set of criteria that your goal must follow in order for it to be focused, thought through, and achievable. The acronym stands for S, specific. Do you know exactly what you want to accomplish with all the details? M, measurable. Are you able to assess your progress? A, achievable. Is it attainable? Is your goal within your reach given your current situation? You know, just a quick note on that. If you're not used to making $500,000 a year, it's not very realistic to settle a goal for $500,000 a year the first year in business. There's an awareness that has to be accumulated. R in the SMART stands for relevant. Is your goal relevant towards your purpose in life? If you enjoy fishing and you need to build a business to do $5 million a year net profit, and that's going to take, based on the metrics you've designed, 365 days of the year, you're not going to go fishing. So again, are your goals relevant to the lifestyle that you choose to live? And finally, the T in the SMART goals is time-based. What is the deadline for completing each step of your goal? So setting goals is easy, but achieving them isn't, because they either stretch us or we don't want them very badly. We just think we should say them, or we have no real idea how to do the thing we want to do. So, setting SMART goals is a first step toward making your goal a reality. Firstly, you need to make your goal as specific as possible and say it in positive terms. For instance, you would not say, I want to stop losing money. That's negative. You're more likely to say, I want to start making money. But you know, that's vague. How much money do you want to make? 100? 1,000? 100,000? You have to be clear how much money you like to make. I used money as an example because most of us are thinking in terms of business. But here it could have easily been an example of weight loss, writing a book, or becoming a world-class cook. How can you measure success? We need a way to evaluate our progress to see if we're moving towards our goal or not. So for example, if you wanted to lose weight, you need to keep track of your calories, food intake, and general weight over time, a sheet, a spreadsheet, a page on the fridge, anything that would be acceptable. Now, is your goal achievable? Do you have the resource that you'll need to achieve your goal? Sometimes you need to break your goal down into smaller sections to make each section achievable. For instance, if your goal was to write a book in Spanish, you could break that goal down to learn Spanish to an appropriate level, take a writing course, analyze the finances to see how much money you'll need to carry that out. If you don't have the resources necessary to achieve the goal, break it down further. It's a cinch by the inch. You need to remove as many obstacles as possible before you get started. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for a fall. At beginnersmarketingclass.com, we stress very boringly, and that's why a lot of people don't flock to us, that one of the first things that you have to do is do a plan of action, a business plan, a budget, and a cash flow projection. That will tell you, if you don't have the resources, how many you need, and then you've got to spend some time thinking how you're going to get them. R stands for realistic goals, are achievable goals. If your goals are unrealistic, then they're dreams. Maybe you can marry Brad Pitt. Well, I wouldn't want to. But there's a lot of obstacles in the way. I mean, if a gal really wanted to marry Brad Pitt, she probably could, but how realistic is it? I don't mean to be negative, but if you're taking the time to write out a list of goals, then take the extra time to evaluate honestly whether they're realistic. For example, losing 100 pounds of weight in 2 weeks may be possible. Well, not really. How about 100 pounds in 3 months? But it sure is not probably the healthiest way to go. And the T for time. Time-recorded goals have a deadline. And as we all know, there's nothing like a deadline for getting things done. So put a date on your goal. If you want to earn another $50,000, put down the date you expect to have had received that. Added income, increased sales, whatever it might be. And the action steps you'll take to achieve it. For instance here, I will complete my ebook by 1st of June. Action steps would include research, writing, images, interviewing, and posting the finished article on your website. Well, if today is April 1st and you wrote down June 1st, you better take those 8 weeks and calendar them as to when you expect to have the research completed, the writing, the images accumulated, and interviewing people, and publishing the final article. If you don't have action steps, you'll get overwhelmed with the deadlines, so always break it down into manageable chunks. And those of you that have listened to us on FocusSociety.com, our weekly talk show that's now in its 210th episode, you've heard me say over and over again, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So while you should be focused on the result, it is the little steps that move you closer to your goal. Now that we have goals that are SMART, they're specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-sensitive, here's some other things that you need to check on. Values. Are your goals aligned with your values? If your goal doesn't reflect your character and your personal beliefs, it'll be hard for you to achieve it. Furthermore, if you do achieve it, it won't really make you happy. So if you were an organic shop and you wanted to increase sales, but to do that you had to sell non-organic produce, you might increase your sales, but it wouldn't make you very happy. So set a goal that has true personal meaning to you. Share your goals. And you know, with at least 3 people, more is better. Mastermind. We at FocusSocietyMastermind.com have really each an individual person benefited from the fact that we share, communicate, and just constantly mastermind with each other to help each other reach our goals because we share them. Find supportive, positive people to help keep you on track and pep you up if your spirits are flagging. Be careful who you choose because there's enough negativity in the world to pick someone who's not on your side. Again, FocusSocietyMastermind.com has been formed to provide that kind of environment. Preparation. Get everything together before you'll need it. This removes the excuses for you straight away and it helps you keep focused. Minimize potential challenges. Overconfidence and poor planning can derail the best of goals, so check through the following things to stay on track. Create for yourself a complete measurable action plan that shows all the steps along the way to achieve that goal. Put dates in for each step of the accomplishment. Categorize, journal these steps. Allow some slippage time for unforeseen emergencies, but write down your feelings as you're working through these things and evaluate the progress regularly. You know, many people who are listening to this today wrote down goals in January. My question, have you analyzed those goals? Have you analyzed what has been instrumental in allowing you to achieve the goals halfway or to wherever you wanted them at this time of the year? And have you also analyzed what's kept you back from attaining those goals? Do one thing per day to take you closer to your goal, bearing in mind the bigger picture. Even choosing a small thing or making one telephone call moves the goal along a little, and there's always a forward motion to it. The biggest fallacy, the thing I could never understand, of course I've been an iconoclast all my life, is why people carry around daily planners full of appointments every 15 minutes of the day. Because most people, because of circumstances that interfere, can't possibly do it, and they end up the day with frustration. The constant thing, there's not enough time in the day to accomplish what I want to do. Why not slow down, back up, and take a look at that elephant, and let's look at one little bite at a time. More importantly, reward yourself for achieving subsections of your goal. Don't wait till the final outcome, especially if you're a long-term goal. Mini milestones can be celebrated. Pass the 500 mark on your customer database, celebrate. Even if your goal was 1,000, because you're halfway there. So let's get into this a little deeper now that we got the main idea of SMART goals. Specific. To set a specific goal, you've got to be answering the 6 why questions. Who? Who is involved? What? What do I want to accomplish? Where? Where will the location of this goal take place? When? Get the time frame nailed. Which? Identify the requirements, the inventory needed, and also the things that might derail you. Sickness, got to plan for those things. Of course, if you take good supplements, stay in good health, you'll get more accomplished. Why? Specific reasons, purpose, or benefits for you in accomplishing this. For example, the general goal for this person might be to get in shape. Specific goal, lose 40 pounds by Christmas. This is a specific goal. Join a gym and go to 3 classes a week. Measurable. Concrete criteria for staying on track that you can't wiggle out of. Questions to ask yourself. How much? How many? How will I know when I've done this? Another general goal, get more customers. Specific goal, add 100 customers to our database by the end of May. Have a prize draw to attract them. Make sure my staff knows how this will work by the end of week 1. Draw up the posters, publicize this in my blog and on the website. That's specific. Attainable. Once you've worked out what goals are important to you, your brain can start thinking about ways to make them happen. You'll be amazed once you give your brain a specific question to answer, how creative it'll be in trying to resolve it for you. The brain is your power. Think and grow rich. You are never given a wish without also being given the power to make it come true. You may have to work for it, however, according to Richard Bach. Remember Jonathan Livingston Seagull? You give yourself license to attain almost any goal when you proclaim that you will do this. You plan your steps and you work your plan. Goals that seem unattainable move closer literally because you bring them towards yourself. The law of attraction is in play here. And you grow to match the goals you've set. When you list your goals, you build your self-image. Another example of a general goal, get rich. Specific goal, increase my income by 10% a month. That is doable, ladies and gentlemen. Increasing your income 10% a month, which is 120% a year, is doable. Realistic. For a goal to be realistic, it has to be something you can work towards and that you're willing to work and you have a desire to work towards. Just to be aware that a high goal is achievable is a low goal, particularly if it's a labor of love. General goal, be successful. Specific goal, take an evening class in X to get qualification. Timely, no time frame, no sense of urgency. One day, someday are not strong motivators. You know, someday is not a day of the week. By Tuesday at 4 p.m. is specific. That's timely. When you set a time frame, you also anchor your subconscious mind into the problem at large and to begin working on how to achieve that goal. General goal again, buy a new car. Specific goal, do research on the weekend, decide on possible models by Sunday, visit garages on the weekend, purchase a car by Sunday night. You know what? All of these little things we've talked about, you say, life, having fun in life, is really the accomplishment of goals. Goals can be little tiny things, or they can be huge, magnificent businesses we build. T can also stand for tangible instead of time, which means you can experience it with one of your senses: sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, or hearing. When your goal is tangible, you have a much better chance of making it work for you. Because if you can experience your goal tangibly in your mind, your brain cannot tell the difference between real or imagined goals. The beautiful thing of the subconscious mind, it knows not whether you are floating a dinghy on the vast sea of knowledge or an ocean liner. So why not float an ocean liner? Why not amass all that you can? And finally, following on from our anachronism theme, another one I heard recently is the DUMB guide for setting goals. DUMB stands for D, doable, U, understandable, M, manageable, and B, beneficial. I'm not sure it matters if you want to use SMART or DUMB guides for goal setting, just as long as you choose and act upon something. Although on reflection, I prefer SMART goals. The bigger your goals, the more you will achieve. And since you've got to have a goal in life, you might as well make it a big one. Why? Because it'll stretch you more. You'll become closer to the image and likeness that you were born to, the image and likeness of the infinite intelligence. It will move you out of your comfort zone more, and you'll learn lots of new skills. In short, you'll expand your knowledge of who you are and who you are capable of. There is no failure. There's a lack of action on the rebound. If you stumble, you take that which you've learned and move forward, and it'll only get better. So why not make a list today of things that you've been putting off and get them on a goal list with some deadlines and actions to take? In short, make sure they are SMART goals. Hey, I appreciate you putting up with me for this long. We've had almost 20 minutes. Chuck Bartok from FocusSocietyMastermind.com. We sure appreciate your listening and hope you've got as enthused about SMART goals as I am. Hope to talk to you later.